How do you write a song for Palestine? This is the exact question I had in January 2024. I wanted to produce a concert to raise money for the people of Palestine, and I wanted to write original music specifically for that cause. So where does one begin? Naturally, I looked to the history of Palestine, and I found a map that shows the decreasing territory of Palestine over time. Their history of diminishing territory and land theft is unique, and I felt that my song needed to tell that story. The first idea that came to mind is a melody that begins with a wide interval that gets smaller and smaller until it is the smallest interval. A half step. Just like the history of Palestine, the melody got smaller and smaller. I wanted the song to have lyrics, and I was working with a great vocalist, Taisha Estrada, so I looked at a chart for the alto vocal range and guessed that an octave leap from A3 to A4 would be doable. Next, I listened to Palestinian folk songs and found that their melodies had lots of ornamentation. I added some ornamentation to decorate the octave leap. Given the topic of the song, I chose to write it in a minor key. And I wanted the chords to mirror the theme of the melody, so I made the voicings get closer over time. I liked that the ascending bass line gave it a feeling of progression. Now that I had the chords, I proceeded to write the rest of the melody, getting smaller and smaller until it couldn't get any smaller. The first section felt like a verse, so I needed to write a bridge. E flat is a chord I didn't use in the previous section, so I used that to begin the next section. Instead of an octave, I chose the interval of a fifth that gets smaller and smaller, ending with a half step, just like the previous section. When there's a bridge, there must be a chorus. Instead of continuing the theme of smaller intervals, I decided to write the melody as just half steps. By this point in the song, we've already told the story, and the story has caught up with the present day. Okay, so I'm primarily a jazz pianist, and the majority of the musicians in the band are jazz musicians. I felt like we needed a solo section. To continue the theme of diminishing territory, I thought that a free improvisation with the instruction of start big and get smaller would do the job. However, after recording with the band, I realized that just letting these really talented musicians express themselves is all I needed. Given the almost pop-like structure of the previous section, verse, bridge, chorus, the free improvisation felt like it destabilized the listener and tapped into the horrors of Palestine's history. Okay, remember I said I wanted to write lyrics? Well, now that I had the music written, it was time to write the lyrics. Taisha sent me some of her lyric ideas, which alluded to the sea and the ocean, and that clicked something in my head. Palestine used to border the Mediterranean Sea and the Jordan River. And as their territory was stolen, their life became claustrophobic, enclosed and controlled by Israel in virtually all aspects. What is the most personal form of control, violence, enclosement, and claustrophobia? A chokehold, particularly that of one's hands wrapped around the other's neck. It felt like the perfect imagery for what is happening to Palestine. This is why my lyrics begin with imageries of the ocean and ends with the narrator choking another person. A kind of murder ballad. It felt appropriate. I decided to name the song Chokehold. Chokehold is the name of our EP, and it is the first recording of our group, Flowers for Palestine. The EP includes 3 original songs written by me and an arrangement of Charlie Hayden's Silence by Abe Mamet. It is available to stream on Apple Music and Spotify. You can also purchase the album on Bandcamp, for which there will be a link in the description. All of the proceeds, like our concert in January, will go to the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund. There is also a lyric video of the song Chokehold here on YouTube, so please check that out as well. Thank you for watching the video. Free Palestine.